Hey guys, how are you? Hopefully I'm on Team Revive. As it started loading, I was like, wait, I think I hit this on Team Revive. You can let me know if I did. How are you guys? I'm hopping on so impromptu. I don't have any notes. Just a heart stirred as I'm here thinking about you guys and praying for y'all. And I thought rather than just feel these things, I'm going to come on live and just talk to you like we're sitting together in my home. Chad and I just got done with a doctor appointment for Judah regarding his G-tube and some different difficult symptoms that he is navigating right now in this season. So we got done and Chad actually took Judah with him over to the kids' school over at the church. And I'm home getting some things done before they come back for dinner and the rush of all things when the family is all together. It is so hilarious when our kids have days like this over at co-op and it's so quiet and then they all come home at once and I look around, I'm like, wow. A family of 10 is very stimulating for an introvert. Y'all, it's hilarious. Okay, none of that is the point of this call. Here's the point of this call. I do love what I do. I'm going somewhere with this. I love what I do. I love teaching you how to do what I do. I am moved to tears with how much I want this for you and how much I dream of what is to come. I dream of retirement parties and picking you up in a limo to celebrate that you're able to come home from your job to be a stay-at-home mom with your kids, or to step into your dreams because maybe you have a job for the income, but it's not your dream, it's not your calling, right? I dream of retirement parties for dads, for husbands who they're working because their family needs an income, but that's not their true calling. That's not what they're called to do for long term. I dream of retirement parties. I want retirement parties with big signs and lots of noise and limousines. I dream of Lexus pickups, of showing up in all different places throughout the nation, meeting up with you and your teams as you pick up your brand new Lexus and celebrate your accomplishment. I dream of having more leaders than I can count at these annual Emerald Extravaganzas and Diamond Destinations in Hawaii, or this year it's Alaska, next year it's Mexico. I want you with me. I love network marketing. It practically pulses through my veins. I have loved this industry for over 2 decades. It's how my husband came to know the Lord. And I love it. I believe in it. I want it for you. And then there's something deeper that I feel very passionate about. Shocker, I'm teary-eyed. But even more than that, I am passionate about learning what it's like to be the kingdom in the marketplace. I am passionate to discover what does it look like to represent Jesus in my sphere. What does it look like to have the kingdom values, the values of heaven, the priorities of heaven, and embody that in the work that I do. Recognizing, and you guys hear me say this, that God cares so much more about our hearts than our income, than our businesses, than our success, than our rank up, than whether we're in momentum or not. Now, he cares about those things. He wants to see your dreams come true. He placed those dreams inside of you, and he's going to walk with you through it. But it is important that we embrace process towards that. And so I have a passion of raising up a team that's mature, that's emotionally mature, a team that knows how to navigate seasons, and that when it's quieter in business, or you're not ranking up, or you're not momentum, you're not freaking out and thinking something's wrong with you. that you actually recognize there's seasons, there's this beautiful ebb and flow, and you know how to steward it really, really well and harness the power of hard times and of difficult times. Those are the times that we get to show up, right? I remember a marking breakthrough moment, one of many, in my journey with Judah, where I was reading the Gospels and reading about the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' robe, garment. And was like, Lord, I am so desperate. I want to push through the crowd. If you were here, I'd push through the crowd because I want you to heal my son. But I felt so convicted because I was like, do I just want his healing? Like if I did live in Jesus's time, would I pursue Jesus for my healing and then turn around and go back to life as normal? Or would I pursue Jesus to lay down everything and become his disciple? Could I become the disciple that laid on his chest? That was like, I want a seat right next to Jesus. Would I have laid down everything and dropped my nets to follow him, or would I only have pursued him for a miracle? Same is true in business. Am I only pursuing him for the breakthrough in my business, or that he'll give me what I want when I want it? Or am I pursuing him because I want to look like him and I want to walk like him? And so I want to partner with the process. Chad recently is the wrong term because it took a lot of time. It took years. We moved into this home 3 years ago. Actually, we just had a 3-year anniversary of moving into this home. And when we moved into this home, it's actually on a few acres. But the yard itself, I should turn the camera around. Maybe I will. In a second. I'm looking at the yard. My office is mainly windows. The yard itself had so many woods, and not just wood. You couldn't even walk the woods because then it had these vines that turned out to be poison ivy, most of them. These vines that went everywhere, like everywhere. It was like a jungle. In fact, we had friends from Minnesota visit us soon after we moved here, and they're like, it's like a jungle. It's like a tropical jungle here. And I'm like, yeah, not the look I'm going for. But there was this strip of grass. There was a bit of a yard, and there was a lot of woods. And Chad had this dream to clear out a lot of the wood so we'd have a larger yard so that he and the kids could play soccer, really, and volleyball and badminton and spike ball and everything under the sun. And it took so much work. So Chad has not been a yard guy most of our marriage. And so now he's like buying tools and chainsaws and like so many things. And we've chuckled though, because the Lord has used this journey to reveal the parallels in our own life and teach us so much about him and the way he is the gardener of our hearts and all these things. I mean, it is just like, it has actually ministered to our hearts in a big way. So Chad gets to work for months and months and months. And initially he had to go to work clearing the vines that were choking out the trees. Okay, and he would do this, he Googled it, and he would do it by taking this axe or chainsaw and cutting it at the base of the tree. He'd cut the vines that were like weaving their way up this tree. He'd cut it down at the base. He'd sever it at the root, right? He would get it down low, and those suckers would die and loosen the grip off the tree so he could remove it from the tree. The strength would be weakened as they died and removed from the tree so the tree could thrive. And from there he went and like was tearing up all the vines from the soil. I mean, listen, these vines were everywhere. It's crazy. Did he get poison ivy? Oh my goodness, so badly. Like he himself was injured trying to save the trees, you know? Now these trees, if they could talk, surely would have said, ouch, that hurt. Because like they were injured while Chad was saving them. And don't you know there's times like that where the Lord is like, listen, there's some things entangling your life and I'm going to have to sever it. And it's going to hurt for a second. And I'm going to sever it at the root. I'm going to get to it at the base of it so that it will die and release its grip off of your life. But it may not feel good for a second. So often we see pain as something to avoid. But what if there is a pain in our life where the Lord's actually trying to get your attention? He's like, this is for your good. I'm actually getting at something here and I'm removing these things that are entangling your life and are drowning this out. It's sucking the life from you and this needs to be removed from you. So he gets to work doing this. There was other parts of our yard that, yes, Chad cleared, but also storms cleared. So we had some crazy storms and it looked like streams were running through our backyard. We are up on a hill. And so these like streams are rushing through our yard now. It was fascinating. Kids are making little boats out of foil to like literally float them down these streams. And these storms and the rain that came started revealing some things. Y'all, someone lived here at some point or the place next door. or somewhere around here, and they went and buried stuff in our yard. They buried stuff, like things were emerging that you don't usually bury, like entire living room rugs, furniture and kitchen things. Like they started coming out. Like I felt like we were archaeologists all of a sudden. Things started surfacing from previous tenants that were no longer living here, but their stuff was still here. There was stuff buried beneath the ground, and it took the storms of life to reveal the garbage that was buried in our yard. That alone will preach. And sometimes, I don't know about you, maybe you're in a season right now of life or even of business, and God is allowing the storm to pass through your life to reveal and surface things that go way back. They might even go back into your childhood. How would I know this? Because I've lived it. So sometimes like stuff is all of a sudden, it's coming to the surface and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? Wasn't looking for that today. Like that's kind of an interruption to my life right now. And the Lord's like, actually, no, we're going to deal with it. Let's go ahead and dig these out. Like this is beyond rocks that get in the way of your garden. Like there's like living room rugs in your backyard. Okay. So Chad's clearing that. Then storms of life are clearing that stuff out of there. At different points, I'm watching him. I mean, like the most patient gardener, the way the Lord and Father gardens the soil of our hearts. I'm telling you what, it's so ministered to my heart. But Chad was working on this yard so much, like to the point that it was annoying. I'm like, this yard, I mean, surely we could have hired a company to do it in a day. You know, like it was just taking so long. And times that he's going around the wheelbarrow, picking up rocks, bricks. There was a whole pile of bricks. There's so many things. And sometimes he found like these huge stones, and he made 2 different walkways that are beautiful and lovely. I'm like, wow, that too will preach, right? Of like the Lord taking these things and working it for good and turning it to something beautiful. But then there was a stretch of time where our yard was ugly. It was but ugly. Like it was just brown dirt. And people would come over and they'd look through our sunroom, and there was the dirt, just a whole lot of dirt. And I felt like, why did we do this? It looked prettier before. Yes, there was vines there, and yes, they were like totally choking out the trees, but at least it was green. And some of those trees were really pretty, and they're gone now because he wanted grass, you know? And so there is this season, and it was a long stretch of time, I don't know how many months, that I looked out my window and it was just a lot of dirt. And it made me look back to the former times and have regret of the pruning and the clearing out and be like, man, it was better before. We wasted all this time. And now all I see is dirt. A lot of it. Brown, ugly dirt. But it wasn't time to plant the grass yet. And there were so many steps. I don't even understand all the steps. So many people that came and like tilled the soil and did all kinds of things. But then it came time that it was the right season, I guess, for the kind of grass that he was planting. It came time to plant the grass. And still there was so much work to do, and watering, daily watering with lots of timers, moving sprinklers around. Like there was still so much work to be done, but it was time. It was time to see something grow there again after all of this work of clearing. And now, when I look at my yard, y'all, now it's hard to think of leaving this house because it's so peaceful and it seems so big. And I pull up into my driveway and it's like this oasis. And the birds are chirping and the squirrels are chasing each other and there's grass everywhere. And I've watched the kids play tetherball. The trampoline is set up in one spot. They pull the net out and play volleyball, badminton, different things. It is so lovely. And we can't stay at this house long term because Judah and our driveway that we can't figure out how to make it not so steep. But every time I pull into the house, I'm like, well, snap, I wish we could, because now the yard looks so pretty. So where am I going with all this? I know that you may be in a season either that the Lord is going after some vines in your life, some clutter in your life or in your heart, or the storms of life might be washing some of that topsoil away, and it was looking fine for a bit, and the storm came and all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, there's some stuff underneath. There's some stuff underneath that's been buried there a long time. I'm feeling some pretty big emotions right now. I'm feeling some pretty big things right now that don't line up with the Word of God and that don't line up with the character of Jesus Christ. And the Lord the whole time is like, I know what I'm doing though. And this is going to look amazing. Just like Chad was telling me, Krista, just trust the process. I have a vision. This is going to look so good. And you're like, actually, no, it hurts. You just chopped at my tree trunk. You've been clearing out all this stuff. And now all I see is dirt. And you might be in a season even that feels like a desert, where maybe the pruning has kind of gone, but you're just sitting on dirt. Like it's just quiet. Nothing seems to be growing. You've done so much work. You've cleared the trees. You've tilled the soil. And now you're like, what is there to show for it? What is there to show for it? I just see a lot of dirt. I should have just stuck with what I was doing before. At least I had trees. Might have been choked out by vines, but at least I had trees. That temptation is so real. And the discouragement is so real. I don't know what kind of season you're in right now, but I have a sense you might be in a place of discouragement in some form of your life. Maybe even in your business. Or maybe you're like, I've been plowing, I've been working, and I'm just not seeing it. But there's a Father who is going after your heart, and I am so passionate about this and about helping you guys harness the power of the journey. There is a process that happens and it occurs before the promise comes to life. And the sooner we harness the process, I believe the sooner we harness the promise. And it is so important. And so I just want to encourage you to take time today on your knees before the Lord, asking him, what is he getting at in your life today? So often we're like, we try to look for the solutions to fix our business. Like maybe if I just do this, my business will change. And that is true. Sometimes we just have to like do the work to see the fruit, right? So he might be like, girl, you said you wanted all this. You made your dream board, but you just aren't doing the work. Sometimes it's that simple. Do the work, show up, do the things. But sometimes he's waiting because it's not time to plant grass yet, because he needs to remove some things, prune some things, reveal some things, preparing you for impact and preparing you for the fruit that's to come. And this is a continual process. It's not like all of a sudden you arrive and you're like, done. I look like Jesus now, I'm good to go. Oh, no. It's continual. It's continual. I am walking it currently, like always looking at each day, like, Lord, what are you teaching me in this process right now? Because, whoa, do I feel pruned? Or, whoa, is stuff being revealed within my heart? Fears could be revealed, right? Frustrations, ego, impatience, right? Or we can just wrestle with God's ways in our life. But he, like, even just recently, y'all, probably like a week ago, it was whenever we went to the beach. Time feels like a blur. We were at the beach. I was journaling with the Lord and sharing just my heart about things. And then I asked the Lord to respond. And at first I didn't even want to ask the Lord to respond. I was just, I was doing this journal prompt where you're like, Lord, what are the lies that I'm believing about this, whatever the topic is, right? So I'm writing it out, all the things that I'm feeling that the Lord is revealing are lies, but I'm writing it down like, yep, sure am. I am feeling that. That's right. I am feeling these things. Here's the truth. I wanted to shut the journal and be like, yes, Lord, this is what I'm feeling. I'm very frustrated about this stuff. This is what I feel. They are very big emotions. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that he was like, these are the lies you're believing. No, I was paying attention to the fact that I felt very emotional and very strong opinions on these things. I was writing it down. I didn't even want to hear his response. That's how selfish I was in that moment. I was just in all my feels, And then I was like, it's probably not wisdom to just end there before going to bed, So I wrote down and asked the Lord, but what is the truth? And the very first thing he said is, I planned all that. And he went on to say other lovely things. Because I planned it. Do you mean like that storm could have been allowed in your life to reveal the stuff like the living room rugs that were under the dirt? Yeah, I think so. Could he allow a delay in you reaching your next rank because he wants to get at something inside your own heart to prepare you in leadership to steward the team that's coming. Because you stewarding a team, it's not just about you getting what you want and hitting the rank that you want or the income that you need for your family. You will be a leader of people, stewarding his people with real lives and real families, stewarding their hearts, pointing to the God that loves them, right? Like, this is so much bigger, especially on Team Revive. This may or not be for you, but on this team, my passion is to raise up a team of ladies who believe we are called to the marketplace and we're called to make an impact, and that we will come across people who will never step foot in a church, but they will step foot on this team. Well, to lead in that way and to walk that out in integrity, it does take a pruning process. It takes a preparation process. It takes us being willing to walk this out with him, because it's not just about you getting a car. It's not just about 6-figure income. It's about so much more. It's about leadership with integrity, leadership that helps people go higher and doesn't hurt people along the way. And so we have to harness God's processes and his pruning in our lives. So then we see the seed planted and he sends the rain and we walk out a harvest, right? All right. I don't know if any of that resonates or even makes sense, but that's what was on my heart. And so, impromptu, bearing my heart on my sleeve for all of you. I love you. See you soon.